Welcome back to the Boot Tragedies.
Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We've been waiting for this day. We've been waiting for this day. I've been praying for this day. Dennis Allen is fired from New Orleans Saints. I'll repeat this once again because it sounds so sweet to say. I've been waiting so long to say these words, to give you these words, to bring these words to this channel. Dennis Allen has been fired as head coach from the New Orleans Saints. Something I didn't think was going to happen this year because I predicted it was going to happen after the Broncos game. It did not happen then. So I was like, maybe, just maybe he's going to be the head coach for the rest of the season. Maybe we're going to have to endure this suffering for much, much longer. But guess what? Gail Benson, you finally did what's right. Mickey Loomis, even though I think you should go too, and we'll touch on that, you finally did what's right. Get Dennis Allen out of this organization. Get him out of this organization. It just did not work. 3 years of nothingness. He's been a bad head coach in the NFL since he's been a head coach in the NFL. And shout out to Derek Carr. You got this man fired twice. You know what happened after he got fired. You were right after him. So we'll talk about that a little bit later as well. But Dennis Allen is finally officially, he's gone. I mean, look at my last videos. It's all been about getting DA out of here. I've made at least 10 to 15 videos on this channel about firing Dennis Allen, and we finally did it. We finally have to wait no more. We finally are free from the shackles of Dennis Allen, the handcuffs of Dennis Allen, and now we're free. Darren Rizzi was named the interim head coach, special teams coordinator. I think that was pretty much the easy choice. He's the assistant head coach. He's got some tenure here, and you're not going to go outside and hire outside of the building, obviously, for a new head coach. Not during the middle of the season, not when you're 2-7. You lost 7 straight games. You're just going to keep it in-house, and then you'll figure that out in the off season. If you want to, go with the interim, depending on how he does, you want to go find a new not a new head coach somewhere. Obviously, that's a long ways away from now, but Darren Rizzi will be the head coach. I'm really excited about that, man. Hopefully he can make some noise, man. Just make us competitive, make it fun, and we'll see what happens on that front. But Dennis Allen is out. That is the big key. Just reminds me of the Saints. Hey, pigs have flown. Hell is frozen over. Dennis Allen has been fired from the Saints. It's just a really, 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 really good day. It's a really good day. It's a day we've all been waiting for. And I did write some things down, man. We're going to talk about some things, and we could jump right into, like I said, what's next for this team? What are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? Now, this is a big moment. It's a pivotal moment. This is a franchise-changing moment. You're right now sitting with a top 3 pick in the draft. You're sitting with a top 3 pick in the draft. So the way you finish this season is determine a lot for a lot of people and a lot of things. We've never been in this position. It's been a while, at least. It's been a while. I'm not going to say never because we obviously know the Saints been in this position before. But it's been a while since we've had a top 5 pick, a top 3 pick, being in a chance or in the running of getting the number 1 pick. So the way we end this season, it's going to be very, very important for the Saints and for our future. And obviously, you want to win games. But at this point, I can't root against the Saints, but if we lost every game for the rest of the year, I'm not going to pretend I'll be mad about it. I'm not going to pretend I'll be mad about it. A fire sale. Do we think a fire sale is coming? Now, obviously, got a lot of older players on this roster. Will we blow it up? Will we be content of just keep kicking the can down the road? But it's a lot of players on the roster. I've done it before where we should probably try to trade and probably try to get rid of. You can start with Derek Carr, in my opinion. You can start with Derek Carr. Can he be moved? Will he be moved? On the defensive side of the ball, you got Demario Davis. I'm not saying Demario Davis has lacked play or that he's gotten worse because he's still pretty good. But will you move on from Demario Davis? Can you find someone to take Cam Jordan? Can you find someone to take Chase Young, who's on a 1-year expiring deal? Will Lattimore be on the block as well? Retiring Matthew be on the move as well? It's a lot of players that are older, a lot of players that have been here. And, I mean, it's up for discussion. I'm thinking everything is on the table. Once you fire your head coach, every situation, every scenario has to be on the table. Now, will they do it? Will they pull a trigger? I have no idea. But these scenarios and these things have to be a part of discussions. It just has to be part of discussions and see what you can get in return for some of these players. Like the only one I'm on the record saying I want to keep is Alvin Kamara. I think Lattimore as well. I think him and Dennis Allen really just didn't get along, in my opinion. And we'll see how this plays out. But if someone's offering you a 2nd round pick somehow, it's going to be hard for me to say don't take that deal. But I would love to keep Lattimore. Really, really good player. I would love to keep Kamara, obviously. One of our best player on the team, those two guys. So we'll see how that turns out. Derek Carr. Since I spoke on Derek Carr, let's speak about Derek Carr, man. You got Dennis Allen fired twice. I appreciate you. You can't come back and beat the Panthers, but will the Saints stick around? We still owe him some guaranteed money, so obviously that's still a big part of him in the decision making of him maybe being here next year. Spencer Rattler, you got Jake Haener. So quarterback is just topsy-turvy. It's up in the air. We don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation. I personally don't want him back because you've been in the league 10, 11 years and you still can't do the things properly. You're never going to do it. You're just never going to do it. He's just not a good quarterback. He's just an average guy. He's just an average guy. And when everything's clicking around him, he has a really good team around him, then maybe he can be competent. But if he needs to go win the game for you or he needs to, back against the wall, I don't want Derek Carr on my team. So that just is what it is with that. I don't know what they're going to do with him personally. I'll say it again. I do not want Derek Carr a part of this organization. I tweeted, Derek Carr and Dennis Allen should never wear black and gold again. That should just be taking out their wardrobe, taking out their closets. I don't want to see those two guys in black and gold again. I got one half of the wish. Dennis Allen is gone. Bye. Hey, Sean Payton found his new defensive coordinator. We know that already. He'll probably be with the Broncos by tomorrow. They got Vance Joseph over there, I believe. I think that's the DC. But hey, we know what's happening. Sean Payton's going to come get his guys because that's what Sean Payton does. Quarterback situation, man. I see you let Rattler and Haener, let them play. Let them play it out. Derek Carr's not going to do anything for this team. He's hurt. Let him go be hurt on the sideline. Let the rookie and let the 1-year pro, let them get some snaps and let's go. Now, we already kind of talked about the roster moves. Will they be some big roster moves, man? I think they should be. It has to be a couple. You have to get some draft capital. You have to get young. You have to get cheaper guys on this roster. You just have to make some moves. I'm not saying trade Lattimore, trade DeMario, trade this, trade that, but you have to try to make some moves to get some of these guys off the books. It's just simple as that. Or you're going to force them to retire or cut them. Do what you got to do to get these guys off the move. And tanking. Like I said, we should probably tank. That's the best thing for this franchise is just to tank. Look at the Commanders with Jaden Daniels. They tank. Got number 2 pick in the draft. They look like they're going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC or top 2 seed in the NFC. That quick. It's time to tank. In my opinion. I would never root against the Saints. But like I said, if they end up losing every game by 1 point and was competitive and we had fun watching these games, I'm not going to pretend that I'll be mad at the situation. Now we got to talk about Mickey Loomis. Can Mickey Loomis get fired? I don't think so. Would I like to see him get fired? Absolutely. Would I like to see a new guy in the building? Absolutely. Obviously, the drafts are either like super, super good, which is rare, or terrible, which is common for Mickey Loomis. Like super, super common. I should pull up these draft classes. I should have already had this pulled up, but I'm going to pull it up anyway. Draft classes for the Saints. And we can go through some of these draft classes and what Mickey Loomis has done because it hasn't been good. It just hasn't been good. We could look at this past season. We got Fuaga, obviously. Really, really good. Really, really good. When you're picking that 14, you get a tackle that looks like he's going to be an all-pro one day. You can't beat that. Kool-Aid, I think he has potential. We still got to see more. Then you got Spencer Rattler in the 5th, Bub Means in the 5th, Jalen Ford, Christian Board, and Josiah Ezerim or whatever. So jury's still out in year 1. We're not going to really talk about this year 1 draft class because you just never know until year 2, year 3, and things like that. So I do like Fuaga in the first round. So other than that, we won't really talk about that class. We'll talk about the classes before that, though. Now, last year, 2023, Brian Bresee. I think he's solid. 29th pick. I'm not mad at that. But let's go after that. Like I said, first round, you have to hit on those guys. I think these last 2 years, I think we got two really, really good players. Now, after that, second round, Isaiah Foskey. Be for real. Kendrick Miller. Be for real. Nick Saldiveri. Be for real. Jake Haener. Be for real. Jordan Howden. Be for real. A.T. Perry. Be for real. Brian Bresee is solid. Foskey can't play. Kendrick Miller can't stay healthy. Saldiveri can't stay healthy. Can't play. Jake Haener is never going to play. He's just a backup quarterback. That is what he is, and I'm not mad at that in the 4th round. Jordan Howden thought he was going to make a leap this year. He made a leap backwards. He jumped all right. He jumped backwards. A.T. Perry, I thought he had some potential. Not on the team anymore. The year before that, I think we had a really good draft in 2022. That was another really good draft from him. You got Chris Olave in the 1st round, Trevor Penning in the 1st round, who actually played decent this year, even though I don't think, we needed him in that 1st round that year or the pick. I won't say it's a bust, Maybe he's a second or third rounder. And then we talk about Trevor Penny very differently if he's a third round pick and not a first round pick. But the fact of the matter was, he's a first round pick, and you just can't. I mean, yeah, you just can't. You can't do that. You can't do that. Then you got DeMarco Jackson, Jordan Jackson, and Alontae Taylor. You got Chris Olave and Alontae Taylor in one draft. I can't be mad at you. That's a good draft. That's a good draft. I'm sorry, that's just a good draft. The other year, you got Peyton Turner, first round pick. That's the problem. You can't do that because Pete Warner in the second round is good. Paulson Adebo, good after that. The year before that, Cesar Ruiz, Zach Bond, Adam Troutman, Tommy Stevens. The year before that, you got Eric McCoy, really, really good player. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was a good player. Let him go for basically nothing. Saquon Hampton, Elise Mack, Caden Ellis, no longer with the team. Then the year before that, we'll stop at 2018. Marcus Davenport. Traquan Smith. Rick Leonard. Latrell Jamerson. Cameron Moore. Boston Scott. And the guy that's only famous because he's a meme, Will Clapp. Terrible fucking draft. Terrible draft. None of those guys are on the team, obviously. And then obviously 2017, he's probably got the best draft class, which he's still trying to live off in the history of the NFL with Lattimore, Ramchick, Marcus Williams, Alvin Kamara, Anzalone, Trey Hendrickson. That's just a really, really master class of a draft. But we keep missing on first round picks. We keep signing guys and extending guys and kicking the can down the road, which is okay when you're competitive. But you went out and signed Derek Carr. It hasn't worked. You let Dennis Allen stay around too long. It hasn't worked. You're extending Cam and things like that and pushing his contract down the road. And he hasn't been good in 3 years. Don't know why we're doing that. So the move, we don't sign a safety. We obviously need safety help. We don't sign a safety. You let Marcus Williams walk out the building. You let Von Bell walk out the building before that. You just keep letting these guys walk out the building. Now we have a big gap in the defense at the safety position because you just haven't invested in a safety. So there's that as well. So I think Mickey Loomis needs to be gone as well. I don't know if he will, but he needs to be out of here as well, in my opinion. Mickey Loomis has to go. New head coaches. We want to talk about this because this will be a separate video. This will be a separate video. I got to go do my research. I think off the top of my head, I want Ben Johnson. I like Ben Johnson. I think Aaron Glenn will probably be in the running as well. I'm sure they're going to have some old coaches that's probably been around the league already. That's probably going to the names are going to be in the discussion just because they're former head coaches and stuff like that. Like you probably get Belichick names probably going to come up. Vrabel's name probably is going to come up. Guys that have been in the league before, it's probably going to come up. Now, do I want those guys? No, I think we need a new guy, somebody fresh, somebody, some offensive creativity. Ben Johnson is that guy for me. Maybe Robert Saleh gets a chance at the DC. Who knows? But I'll look into that. Into these coaches, in my opinion. Now let's see how we respond. I'll end it with this. How will the Saints respond? How will we respond as a team? How would the young guys respond? How would the old guys respond? Will we just start playing young guys? Like, are we just going to pull the old guys off the field and say, hey, young guys, let's develop, let's get better? Like, are we going to do that? Or are we going to just keep playing the old guys and we're going to try to win some games and try to fight and claw to see what can happen for the rest of the year? I don't know what we're going to do. It's going to be interesting to see. I hope Rizzy does well. I think he's going to be a head coach in this league. I just don't want him to be the head coach for the Saints next year. And that's no shots at Rizzy. I really, really like Rizzy. But it's time for the Saints to just get rid of everything dealing with this. Everybody can go. Let's get a fresh staff in here. Fresh players, things like that. So guys can come in. I want this guy to play quarterback. I want this guy to play running back. I think you should play left guard instead of right tackle. I think you should do this instead of that. I just want some new things in the building, new faces, new eyes in the building. If that could start with a GM, that'll be great. But the big news of the day, Dennis Allen has been fired. I am thankful. I am happy. He's done. My last video was Dennis Allen will be fired eventually. That eventually is now. That now is now. Dennis Allen is gone. And I'm ecstatic and I'm excited. And if you're watching this video, if you made it this far, man, I appreciate y'all. It's been tough. I didn't even put the face camera. I didn't even want to be seen as a Saints fan. I almost put a bag on my head after that Panthers loss and recorded that way. But Dennis Allen is gone. I'm excited. I'm happy. We're moving in the right direction for the first time in 3 seasons. This is positivity. This is Victory Monday. This is what we needed. Dennis Allen is gone. Dennis Allen is out of here. And one more time before we get out of here, we got to do it again. Nah. Hey. Goodbye. Dennis Allen. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Gail. Thank you, Mickey. If I gotta thank Mickey, thank you too. Thank you. Dennis Allen is no longer the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. And it was getting kind of sketchy because I didn't think we were gonna see this news. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I didn't know. But it's happened now. It's happened now. We can all celebrate. We can all celebrate the firing of Dennis Allen. And you never want to celebrate nobody getting fired, but man, we needed this. We needed it as a team, we needed this as a unit, and it's over. It's over. I'm gonna get out of here. But I do gotta say it one more time. Dennis James Allen has been fired from New Orleans Saints. Thank y'all for tuning in once again, man. As always, it's the Boot Tragedies. And guess who out? Me and Dennis Allen. Peace.